welcome back everybody on the stream, and welcome back everybody here at the venue. Are you all excited to see the final of our PvP PAX Invitational Tournament? All right, I take that as a yes. So, because I know nothing about PvP, let me introduce to you your hosts for the evening, who will also be the shoutcasters of the event, Mr. Jonathan Chaplin Sharp and Mr. Joshua Grouch Davis. Give them a big hand.
Wow. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very official. I like that.
Very
good.
so.
All right, guys, like you said, this is the Guild Wars 2 PAX Invitational Grand Finals.
Grand Finals, yes.
Absolutely. We have two teams left. We have the top team from EU and the top team from North America coming in today.
It's true. Are you guys excited at all? Or, I mean, that was, I think you guys want it, but I'm not totally sold yet. Oh, they want it. Okay. Just checking to be sure. Just making sure.
All right.
I have to get this out of the way, though, before we start. And it's coming. You ready for the curveball?
I'm not ready
you
for
ready
it.
for it?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
I feel like you remind me of like an airline pilot. Yeah, that's what I get off of you right now.
Thank you.
I feel like.
Thank you.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. This is your air captain speaking. That's what I get out of you right
Current time, your destination is 5 o'clock.
So we're in Seattle. Yeah, it's your first time here. Is that right?
Actually, yeah, I've lived here for like a month, and it's my first time in Seattle.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're excited here today, guys. We cannot wait to get going. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. As we've said, we had 64 teams spread all over the world. Well, Europe and NA for this tournament, and we had an amazing turnout. We had some top-tier teams. We've got 2 of those here today, the top U.S. team and the top NA team. Today they'll be playing a best of 5, and it'll be over $10,000 in cash. Pretty saucy,
line, man.
Yeah, it's pretty saucy, pretty
Someone's
hot.
leaving a winner, and they're by.
So you want to pass it on off?
Yeah, let's do it. So we
right.
have John Corpening, the PvP team lead, that's going to be introducing the teams for us today.
Get ready for the voice, guys. Here comes the voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Char, Silvari, Asura, and Norn, it is my honor to introduce to you your teams for the Guild Wars 2 Invitational Tournament. Representing North America, please welcome Team Sync. From Portland, Oregon, playing Thief, Team Captain Ramsey Cade Hunady. From Dallas, Texas, playing Necro, Chris Zombify Newmeyer. From Cincinnati, Ohio, playing Ranger, UV Vendetta Seth. From Toronto, Canada, playing Guardian, Sharif Da Vinci Al Kafif. From Vancouver, Canada, playing Guardian, Twerp.
Alrighty. So we get to talk to this bright young man. How you feeling today?
Good. How are you guys?
We are doing really well. Were you guys watching footage for this, or like what have you guys been doing to get ready for this?
We watched a lot of footage. We did a lot of 2v2s, 2v3s with ourselves, and we scrimmed a few teams.
Okay, and the 2v2s, that's for the smaller sets, the smaller fights.
Yeah, work on mechanics a lot, keeping each other up, teamwork, synergy.
Okay, cool.
So are you looking to split them up in these team fights? Like, are you going to avoid team fights, go for side points? Or what's your strategy?
Well,
you
you'll
don't want
have
to
to
talk
find
about
out,
it?
yeah.
All right.
You might not want to talk about it yet.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough. So have you been playing a lot of European teams, trying to practice? Or?
We actually were supposed to scrim TP, didn't happen, so mainly NA ourselves, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay. Well, good luck to you guys today. We're looking forward to seeing some awesome comebacks, some awesome pushes. We want to see you guys get really good games in here. So congratulations and
Thank
good luck,
you.
man.
Thanks.
Representing the European Union, please welcome Team Car Crash. From Birmingham, England, Plane Warrior, Team Captain, Bara Super Safar. From Oldenburg, Germany, Plane Thief, Oliver, Lady Nag Nag, Bachanek. From Bremen, Germany, Playing Guardian, Ben, Lord Nag Nag, Boome. From Pomfrada, Spain, Playing Necro, Ivan, Posey Martinez. From Strasbourg, France, Playing Ranger, Romain, Mogwao Ferrier.
Alrighty, pull up a seat, young man. So, you look kind of excited. Are you nervous? How are your nerves doing right now? Pull the mic up. Yeah, use that
There you
mic.
go.
There you go. Oh, pro tip, if you want to use a mic, pull it up to your mouth. There you go.
Yeah,
See-
we're very excited to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff were you guys doing? Were you watching footage of these guys? Were you watching some of their past games? Or what were you guys
yeah,
doing?
we've been watching a lot of footage and practicing a lot of team queues and trying some 3v3s, 2v2s.
Okay.
Now, you guys have been playing in NA, right?
Yeah, we've been, like, because of the meta change, like, different in NA and in Europe, we moved to our second accounts to NA just to practice there.
Get some recon out there. So you're already very well versed in the European
Yeah,
meta, but
that's right.
now you're also ready for the American meta because you've been playing in it. Do you think that kind of gives you an advantage today? You guys have been scouting these guys
I
out,
think
maybe?
it's better for us that we played in NA for a bit.
Okay.
So might give us a bit of an advantage.
Okay. Well, good luck to you, sir, and all of your
you.
allies. Good luck today. Looking forward to seeing what you guys come out with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Wow. I'm kind of excited.
I know.
So as the teams are getting set up, going to make sure everything's good to go, we thought we'd go over some of the basics of the game to explain to people here in the audience, maybe if you're not familiar with the game and how it works, or people on the stream, how it works. Let's talk through
So
some of
I
that
guess we'll
stuff.
start from the top and kind of work our way down.
Good way to
so
do
the
it.
name of the game is Conquest.
It is.
There's going to be 3 capture points on every map.
Yes,
Holding
yes.
that point is going to give you 1 point every 2 seconds.
Yes, yes.
And pretty interesting stuff that can come there. There's also a secondary mechanic on every map. You want to explain
Every
that?
single map, yeah. So every single map, the 3 maps today, as we get in there, we'll be talking to you guys more about that and explaining that. We'll be calling out those secondary mechanics because the game does revolve around the major ways to score points are you can do the conquest stuff that we've talked about. You can get kills. Every kill that you get nets your team 5 points. But also the secondary mechanics will change with the maps, and it will also change the way that you play the game. So we'll be watching for that. It's going to get really exciting because it's going to change the flow of every single one of the maps. Some of the other stuff we could talk about is the down fights and what's involved with that.
No, absolutely. So one thing that separates this game from traditional MMOs
Sure.
is our down state, like you mentioned before.
Uh-huh.
So in traditional MMOs, when a player goes down, they are down out of the fight completely until they
Right.
get resurrected or until they respawn.
Sure.
In our game, they go into down state. So their normal abilities will disappear, and they'll be giving 4 abilities that are specific to the profession.
Right, right.
Usually one to prevent a stomp.
Right.
We'll get into that in a moment.
Okay.
That'll prevent your first stomp on there, and basically, it gives you your team the opportunity to come in and try to res you and bring you back into that fight.
Right, right.
And then the other team obviously is going to be going in and trying to get that stomp off, which is basically they run up to you and they're going to go through an animation. If they land that animation, you're out of the fight.
Yeah, it's really dangerous, though. You've got to be careful because if you're trying to res somebody and you're not cognizant of your environment, you can get a lot of AoE or area of attack thrown at the corpse that you're trying to raise up. So people can do a lot of damage to you while you're trying to help your team. So you've got to be really careful with that. So we'll have to watch for that.
It's something you always – it depends on the situation.
Sure, sure.
A lot of times you'll just let a player go down and you'll just let them bleed out. You
Yep.
won't even try to resurrect them just because you know if you go in, you're going to take a lot more damage,
Exactly,
then it's
exactly.
not really worth it.
Yep, yep.
So definitely some interesting to look out for. We'll be explaining them as I guess we go
Yep.
on through the day.
We could talk about this map real quick. The first map that we'll be on today was going to be Forest of Niflhel. I hope Jeff Grubb's out there making sure I said that correctly because he's the guy who gave me the name. I'm sure he knows how to pronounce that. But basically, this map is going to have the 3 cap points. It's also going to have NPCs. It's going to have Svanir, something that you guys might know if you played Guild Wars 1. Svanir was a very popular guy in his day. Not really, the nicest guy, but, people knew his name. His name rang out, as they say. Also, you've got the Jotun. We've got a chieftain over here. Now, if you kill either one of these NPCs, why don't you talk about what's going to happen there?
So killing the enemy NPC is going to give you 25 points
Right.
that add to your score immediately. They're on a 3-minute respawn timer, and so they come up pretty often. You at least see about 4
Sure.
respawns. Now, also when you take down these NPCs, they'll give your team a buff that
Sure.
can help out in these team fights. Even
Yep.
in 1v1s, it's a pretty good stat boost.
It buffs all of your stats, yes. And you can also kill both at once, which means that you could have both of the stat boosts at once, which is very, very powerful.
Very powerful.
Okay.
Very powerful.
So let's see how our guys are doing in here. Are we ready to rock,
So I'm kind of curious.
I ask?
I'm a little curious.
Are you curious? What are you curious
I'm
about?
curious. I'm kind of want to know what these guys think.
Let's. Do you want to
I want to ask.
You
I
wanna
wanna
ask? Okay, let's
do it.
ask. Let's
so, I want to hear some cheers, essentially. So we have car crash.
They preempted you.
yeah.
They knew where you were going.
Oh,
I
was
think
like,
they know
all
what
right,
you're doing.
all right.
Okay.
So that's our car crash cheer.
Okay.
How about Team Sync representing North America? How about that?
Oh. That sounds like that might be home court.
Yeah, home court advantage,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay. We'll have to see how they deal with that.
It does a little bit of setup, though. I feel a little. I feel dirty.
You were kind of dirty. You're kind of
Sorry.
shady there.
I love Europe too. It's all right.
Okay.
Are we ready to go?
Are we ready to go? Can we get a thumbs up from the team captains if we are ready to go? It doesn't look like we are. So we're
I
gonna
don't
keep
think so.
talking.
Let's keep stalling. All right. Back down to the map here. Shuffle some papers real
So
fast.
we can get into some of the details. So let's talk about what we've seen out of these guys so far leading up to this. Sync, as you know, they came through AL in a very, very difficult match. Like that was very difficult for them, I think.
That was probably one of the most stressful. When I was casting that, I was actually stressed. I was like sweating.
I've heard that you were
and
actually stressed.
I couldn't
and-
sit down. I was freaking out, man.
So talk to us. What happened there for
so-
people who might not have seen that?
AL went 2-0 in the set as a best of 5. AL
Sure.
went 2-0 in the set starting out. Sync came back and took 3 games in a row
Right,
and
right.
beat out AL. And AL was one of the favorites coming in.
It was very surprising. I think a lot of people were surprised by that. But yeah, that's how they got here. So
Yeah. So nice little rally
Yep.
from them. And you mentioned the comebacks today, so maybe we might see some of those.
Yep,
Hopefully
yep.
take it to 5 games today. Like to see some good games.
And as you guys are watching, we'll start calling out these things. We'll make sure that you guys are privy to these things. But a lot of the things that we have for combat mechanics mean that you can be behind on score, but if somebody is able to control the secondary mechanic and take it all of a sudden, a lot of times it can push you up ahead of the other team. So we really need to watch for that. And that's just one of those things that I just want to make sure that we call out, because I'm not sure that everybody knows the game well enough. It's very simple at its core, but there's going to be a lot going on. And as we get into the game, you guys will start to see a lot of the effects in the game. So that's one of the things that's kind of interesting. If there's a firewall in the field, you know that, well, let's ask. What do you think a firewall should do if you walk over a firewall? Do we have any ideas out here?
So is the question, do you stand in fire?
You could stand in fire if you, well, it's a
I
firewall.
mean, is that a good thing?
Do you want to ask that?
I don't know. I mean, if they PvE at all,
I've never been on fire. I don't really know.
Neither have I. I mean,
Well-
if they PvE a lot, they probably know how to stand in
If
fire.
they eat a lot, they probably know. Sure.
Trying to cater to our large demographic.
Oh
here.
yes, it's true. It's true. But what we try to do is a lot of the effects in the game will be very visual, so that you can see things. But it's also a very fast-paced game. It's really, really exciting when that kind of stuff happens. But you've got to be watching really, really closely. And that's one of those things that Grouch, motor mouth that he is, he speaks so quickly in the heat of the moments. He's going to be able to call those things out.
I'll try to slow it down for you.
Like, yeah, you need your Barry Manilow.
I'll try to
Get
slow
it low,
it down
yeah.
for you.
So I don't know. You ready? Are you hype? Are you hype?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I'm excited
It's
to
a
see.
little weird. I usually do this in my living room,
Is
like,
that
like with no pants on.
is that a
Like it's
pants-free
a little
zone?
weird doing it in front
Is
of
it
like
pants-free
300
zone
people.
in your living room? Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit strange, a little out of my element today, but
Okay.
pretty good about
Let's talk about real quick about Car Crash and how they got here. They played a very difficult opponent. But what I loved watching them when I watched them is they had a very different style that came out against some of the teams that they were facing. They had a really strong spike style. It was really fun to watch. Like, it's something that we hadn't really seen before, because in the meta right now, a lot of people think that you need to run, very tanky builds that have a lot of conditions and attrition. And they had some really strong spikes that were very, very interesting, and not what you usually see, for instance, in the American meta.
yeah, we saw Mogwai running Elementalist in those sets. He was running a Scepter Dagger Elementalist, and he came in with the Insane Burst. They've opted to move him away from that
Sure.
going into these games today. I think they're trying to adapt to the NA meta. He's going to be running, I believe, Spirit Ranger instead.
I think that's one of those things they were worried about him being countered by that, because it's a very fragile class that's got a lot of damage up front, but if you catch it, I think that they were kind of worried that it might just be something that hurts them in team fights if they couldn't spike out quickly enough. So we'll have to see what they do for adjusting. Although both of the teams, and talking to them last night, the last couple days, we've been getting to know these guys better in person. They're very tight-lipped, but both teams are very, very optimistic about their chances.
They seem pretty relaxed.
I was
They're
amazed.
just, lounging around
They're
all
just
day.
chilling, yeah.
We're the stressed ones. I'm
Yeah,
more stressed
yeah.
than they are.
They just kind of we got plane tickets paid for. Hotel, it's paid for. I've got playing for some cash, but I'm cool. I'm gonna have a nice, relaxing glass of water and sit here and say, we're good. We're good to go. Is that funny? Water's funny to you?
This is a very detailed story. I was imagining it.
Yeah, but it's been really awesome getting to know about these guys. Just getting to watch them. Talking to Zombie last night. Zombify was going over the intricacies of the Necro, and that's one of those matchups we want to watch today. I think it's he and Posey. They are going to have some really cool showdowns today that I want to watch for, and he was breaking it down. The Necromancer is able to transfer conditions and dish out those same conditions. So what's interesting is you don't want to transfer too fast and blow it because you might not transfer enough away and they'll throw it right back to you. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to watch those two guys and watch how they transfer things back and forth and who wins in those exchanges because it's a very interesting matchup.
A lot of these players have been talking about their one-on-one matchups, not specifically where they'll be going, but Zombify cannot stop talking about Posey.
They want it, right? They've been calling each other out everywhere they go over the weekend. They'll walk into Starbucks and they'll be like, here's my drink or here's my I'm calling you out.
I'm going to destroy you
down.
I'm
going to destroy you.
Like,
dude,
exactly.
I'm buying a drink, man.
Exactly. Relax.
But they want it. Cade also. Lady Nag, that's going to be a really interesting matchup because they run different thieves. They run different styles of thieves, which is really interesting as well.
Indeed. One other matchup I think is kind of something interesting to call out is
Sure.
the Guardian situation.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Lord Nag Nag and Da Vinci. For those of you guys maybe that have been watching some of the tournaments, traditionally in EU, it'd be much more like a bunker. The Guardians would stand on point and just completely focus on living.
Right,
they
right.
wouldn't focus on CC as much,
Sure,
just
sure.
completely on sustain. In NA, most of them ran hammer, and they're
Right.
looking to get the debunks on the
Right, right,
on
right.
the other Guardian, get the decap and get the full cap.
Uh-huh.
And so it'll be interesting to see how the Guardians play here. Is Lord Nagdak going to be running a hammer to try to counter Da Vinci? Is he going to be going full bunker sustain on point,
Sure.
or what's going to happen?
And I asked him about that because I was curious because in their spike build, if you looked at it, he had a very intricate position in that. He had his scepter in his main hand. He would lead with an immobilize. And as you know, an immobilize will keep people from being able to evade, which then set up the rest of the spike. So he could throw out his immobilize, get off maybe the first stack of Aegis with his 2 perhaps, and then all of a sudden you would see the spike come in. So he has said, though, he wants to move away from that. He wants to shift things around based on the map, which is very, very smart for him to do.
Oh, definitely. Obviously running a hammer build on Footfire might not be
Yep.
the best. And
Yep.
we'll show you guys the map later on. Footfire has much larger points,
Yes,
and
yes.
you won't be able to knock the player off the point
Right,
as
right.
easily just because of the diameter of it.
Right. But once we get to, for instance, Kylo, the Battle of Kylo, it excels there, as well as the sword, for instance. The sword main hand is extremely powerful for the Guardian there because they can actually jump to people instead of having to wait for them to come to the Guardian, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are
be
some other matchups?
Yeah, it should be some exciting games. I'm really looking forward to it.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Okay, it looks like we are almost ready to go, but not quite. I think we need a quick break to get everything finalized. So we're going to do a quick break, and then we'll be right back. But thanks for joining us. We're about to get started, and the room is pretty tense. So we're kind of excited over here, too.
All right, guys, we're back. Sorry about the delay. There was a little bit of a technical difficulty.
A little
but
bit.
We're getting it taken care of. It's done.
Yeah. So we've had some issues with a mouse. Those
Was it
pesky
DaVinci's
little
batteries
mouse.
die again?
So that did happen leading up to this. One of the players, his mouse actually did die, the batteries, during one of the matches. So he's been picked on pretty relentlessly by the community.
I wasn't
up until
picking
now.
on him.
But and I said community. I didn't even call you
Okay,
out, even though
right.
it was you. But basically, yeah, we've got everything straightened up now. So we have got all the players in the game now. We're going to be able to actually start showing you guys some of the builds. And the builds are very important in Guild Wars 2. It's interesting because you have different ways to play each of the classes. And it's really interesting on how players will take the same class, and today's a great example, for instance, in the Thieves, and they've just said, no, I want to play it this way, and someone else says, no, I want to play it this way. And you actually have two very viable Thieves that we're going to see here today that have different styles.
Yeah, so I guess kind of just going into that, so we'll see Lady Nag is going to be running a Sword Dagger spec, which is very evade dependent.
Sure.
It goes in, does the damage, it's able to teleport in, teleport
Right,
back out.
right.
It's really hard to put damage on him, though. It's
It
a little bit
is.
more sustained damage.
It is, yes.
Where on the other hand, Cade's going to be running Dagger Pistol.
So talk about Dagger Pistol a little bit. Yeah.
So Dagger Pistol is much more burst orientated.
Sure.
He's going to go in, do the big damage, he's going to try to get back out.
Although it does have, it's interesting because it has the offhand daze, which is very, very powerful for shutting down classes.
Necro, in
For
particular.
instance, the Necro, right. So if you see a Necro, a lot of Necromancers when they're playing PvP are all about forward-facing damage. They can CC you, they can chain fear you, they can do all this cool stuff, they can weaken you, they can blind you. But as soon as you get up in their face and get past that stuff, they're pretty weak to, reactive defenses. And that's what that Thief, the Sword Dagger Thief, is going to prey upon. He's going to be watching for that and making sure that dazes keep any of that defense from coming out. They're not going to be able to keep themselves up.
So one thing to note, in the previous games, we saw Super playing Engineer. And it looks like he's opted to move off of Engineer and move to Warrior.
It's true. That's what I'm saying right now.
I think the case of the Warrior is kind of interesting, to be honest.
Wow, yeah. Look at this Warrior, too. What have we got over here? Looking through these traits. Okay, so we see some interesting stuff here. I don't want to call it out too much before we get going, but some really interesting stuff on this Warrior. This is there are, so you guys don't, if you don't know, there are a few Warriors that have been rampaging. No pun intended. They've been rampaging through the meta lately. Warriors are making a very strong comeback right now. There are three major types of Warriors, and they're kind of all seeing some play. There's a CC Warrior, there's a heavy condition Warrior, and there's also just a Spike Warrior who just brings a lot of DPS. And we've actually seen three different variants on multiple teams at the top of the ladder, which is really interesting to see that all of a sudden people said, you know what, Warriors are viable again, let's try it. And everyone else agrees because they're getting the butts kicked by them.
Yeah, one thing we failed to mention was the roles that these players they'll be filling. So traditionally, you have the bunker who's going to be sitting on a point, just the guy that just doesn't want to die.
Right.
I mean, you usually don't want to die, but his job is specifically don't die.
You don't usually want to die. Yeah, dying is bad usually.
Yes.
In most games.
Usually
in most
bad.
games. Sure.
So we also have someone's going to play home point. They're going to be going home point, capping that point. Hopefully before the other team gets there. Obviously, the far point assaulter on the other team is going to be coming in, and they're going to try to keep that point neutralized as long as possible. So we'll be looking out for that. I think that's the role Super's going to be filling.
That's what I'm thinking. Looking at this comp, that's what I think. This is so interesting too. I wonder how the matchups are going to go.
Well, speak of the devil.
We are underway. All right, here we go.
All right, so we'll be jumping into the first game here, guys. Again, this is going to be Car Crash versus Team Sync.
Oh my goodness.
Game 1 on Forest of Niflhel.
IR equal to excited IRL.
It's going to be Team Sync on the blue team. It's going to be Car Crash on the red team. And we're going to be watching these splits as they come out here. And it looks like we're seeing a lot of players moving over to from the blue team on the far
Look
side
at the
already.
crossover. This is interesting. So these teams, a lot of strategy you guys will see. You'll be able to watch the mini-map, and we'll explain to you what's going on. We'll help you call it out, but oh my god, take it away, Grouch.
Looks like they're trying to take Posey out in the roads here. Posey's taking a lot of damage right now. He did pop an early plague. Put a lot of damage on him right now. He's going to go down in the roads here. Looks like Car Crash is going to let him go down there. DaVinci coming off the stomp. Going to take him out. The Shatter Refuge coming in, actually. Going to prevent the stomp initially here. Lord Nag in a position to try to get that res off. Going to use the knockback. Looks like they might be able to get Posey back in the game. He is pretty low right now, though.
Now, this is the A we talked about earlier, guys. There's just so much damage coming in. At some time, you just got to leave that body behind because you're not going to be able to get them up without sustaining so much damage that it's just not worth it.
Now, we got another 1v1 here. It's got Kate taking on Lady Nag here in Rhodes. And again, this is
the one-on-one we talked about.
We talked about that Dagger, or Dagger Pistol, rather, and the Sword Dagger. Kate doing a pretty good job trying to take him down. Lady Nag with the evades all day on the short bow 3, avoiding the damage from Kate coming out. Kate having a hard time taking him down.
You notice the blue team right now is not even on their side of the map. They have not even touched their home point right now. They're just playing middle and far right now. They haven't even gone. They haven't sent anybody to their home point right now. That's really interesting.
Over here on mine, we do have a little bit of skirmish breaking out. Looks like Lord Nagnak does get taken down. He's going to be the Guardian. So having the Guardian down in these team fights is going to be huge.
That's your
It
rock.
provides so much support.
That's the person you pivot around. That's crazy.
So about a minute 30 into this game, we're already seeing multiple players from CC have gone down. The Sync looking pretty strong.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still up in score though, right? It's still, you know, they've got double the score. We just have to see what happens after these fights stabilize. Notice the Thief. The Thief now. They're pulling away. They're pulling away. So you guys will notice that CC has finally said, let's go ahead and start honoring that back point.
All right, over here at the midpoint, looks like I'd say 2 Spirit Rangers duking it out here. It looks like a petting zoo on point.
A petting zoo.
My mobility.
It does look kind of look like a petting zoo. Like, do we need some peanuts or something? What do we need for this?
It's pretty even right now, though. Looks like that troop's doing a pretty good job getting the damage laid out right now. The big thing with taking Spirit Rangers down is getting the spirits down.
Yep.
Once you get the Spirit of Nature down, he's going to go down just like that. He's not going to be able to res up from the Elite. Looks like he's going to get stomped out. Torp's going to be going down. He got cowed on point.
Cowed.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
It's so BM.
Oh, what do we do for that? We can't say goal. We can moo and just say it. Hold it.
All right, looks like Mogwao goes down. Oh, is the res coming in from Lord Nagnak? Nope, not quite. Dimitri's going to get the stop off on Mogwao. Again, Sync looking very strong at the midpoint here. We just still have Lord Nagnak on point, trying to stay alive as long as possible here, rather. Let's take a look at the rest of the map here. Kate looks like he got taken down by Posey. Kate actually getting back up. Oh, not quite. Kate's so close for getting back up here. Looks like he's going to stay back in the downstate here. Posey coming in, going to get Kate stomped out.
Now, notice what's happening on the points right now. You notice that teams basically swapped the points earlier. That red took far and blue took far, and now they're trying to stabilize and take their own points back again.
Well, looks like Lord Nagnak did go back down on the midpoint here. The Shadow was coming out, preventing the stop off on him. He got back up, knocking Vendetta rather off a point here. Lord Nagnak taking a lot of damage. He's going to get that shelter off, going to get a leak. Oh! The Karaboot coming out, destroying Lord Nagnak. He's going to go back down on point. And it looks like Lady Nagnak is going to try to maybe come in for that res. He knows he's weak, though. Vendetta goes down. Lady Nagnak coming in with that stomp, possibly the interrupt comes in.
Nice
Vendetta's going to get, or Zombfire is going to get that stomp. That's going to be going to Sync again, it looks like.
Now, also notice that right now, no one has touched either of the NPCs. They're not even going to try to touch them. It's so close. Neither team can afford to send anybody right now. They've got to stay 5-on-5 out in the field, aggressively going after those points. They cannot afford to send somebody right now.
Well, absolutely. And one thing to keep in mind is that these bosses, it's not who does the most damage. It's who gets the
It's
last
hit, yes.
So you absolutely need your power classes there to get the last hit on those
Exactly.
NPCs. So you need Kate. You need Kate
You've
there.
got to, yep.
You need Lady Nagnak there to do the damage.
Yep. You will notice that about 40 points right now. It's still a really close game, though.
All right, looks like so Sync is finally capping that midpoint there. Carcraft still up 2 points right now. We do have a little skirmish over here on mine. Take a look over here. Looks like Mogwao currently down on point. Mogwao does get stomped out here. I have to say that Sync's doing a really good job on the stomps.
They're getting their stomps, but right now they're doing a good job in the small fights. But overall, like their map presence, they had a great opening, but they've got to start securing that map presence, which is what they're trying to do right here.
Looks like Super's going to be trying to move off the point here. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to be going. Maybe trying to get a decap on midpoint there. We maybe see Zombify, see Super moving towards that midpoint. I think Super's going to be able to get that decap.
He's calling it out. You'll notice that he's probably talking to Cade right now because Cade's coming up right behind him. Yep, he's already told Cade to go stick him.
Yeah, Cade's going to try to get there before. Actually, he's able to get the damage onto Super, the stun rather.
Oh,
he's
nice
going to beat him to the point. Very nice job by Cade, keeping that point in their favor, not letting Super get that decap. Actually, but they got them both off the point now. They're going to let it get decapped. Oh, it gets decapped. Get on the point, guys.
Wow. It's going to be a 2-on-2 here. So it was a 2-on-1 initially, but now it's going to be a 2-on-2 with the Ranger backup. Cade's taking a lot of damage from those burns. He's going to have to be careful with that AoE. AoE's on Cade.
He does put the Shadow Refuge down. A lot of conditions on him still, like you said. He's going to go down.
Wow.
Going to try to maybe get that heal off, but he's not really in a good position to get that res off.
He's going to have a hard time with that right now. You notice what's happening in the far points again. Like, well, this is really interesting with the home point and far point. They're really being aggressive. Most teams will always try to secure a home point just by default, but these guys are so aggressive. They're going after the opposing team's home point just over and over and over again. Point. They want that aggression. Both teams want that aggression.
You do see Vendetta down over here on mine. He's going to get stomped out. Lord Nagnak probably going to get a full cap over here on mine. I really don't see any players from Sync that are going to be able to prevent that full cap. We do have Henge going to Sync, and it looks like a battle will be raging back over on mid. I think once the players start moving towards that direction. We do see a little bit of players kind of grouping up in the graveyard here, probably deciding where they want to go. Oh, looks like the first NPC is engaged. We have Lady Nagnak taking down Savannah here, it looks like.
He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it.
Yeah, I think he's going to get it. I don't really see any players from Sync that are going to be in position to
All those evades.
prevent that.
All those evades, yep.
All evades all day.
All day. We have evades all day. We got him. If we want him, we got him.
All right, so Super's currently the only player from CC at mid. We do have Posey coming up from the side here. Looks like Sync's going to try to get onto Super at the midpoint, try to take him out as fast as they can. We do have, oh, here comes the petting zoo, Sharp. Here it comes.
They've got like sound the horns, and you can see that the elite's already out. Now that elite spirit's very, very, very important. If it goes down, you can't get those reses off. So if it goes down early in a fight, you're not going to get as much efficiency out of it. We'll have to see what happens. Oh.
Super going down the road, Sharp coming in with that stop, able to land up. Ooh, the Shadow Refuge not coming out quite in time, not able to prevent that stop. He's going to go down. Zombify is down on point. Looks like Posey coming in with the stop. Going to cowed again.
Cowed.
Posey. Oh my goodness.
They like that cow. I've seen that.
Blue team grabbed the capture point.
Wow, so look, we're having a turn here. We're having a turn right here, right? Look at this, like far point and home point for Blue are they're well taken, and they're contesting really well at mid.
Yeah, you know the interesting thing is they're all ending on mid right now.
They
have their
they
home
are.
point, they have mine. Looks like Super's gonna be capping that back now. If they had split off and defended those side points, I think they'd be in a good position. They're losing mine right now. Super's gonna be capping that.
Yep.
And they're not winning mid.
Well, they've got to figure out something over here because Lady Nagnag, if you look at this, Lady Nagnag's going at Twerp right now. They're going one-on-one over here. I think that he's going to have to, he's calling for backup right now, you can tell. They're going to get a 2-on-1 at their home point, Blue is.
Red team
A lot of damage going on to
wins
Twerp right now. The
capture
damage from the Sword Dagger is absolutely
It's
insane.
just so much damage with that build.
Tons of damage. Looks like over here in mine, Da Vinci does finally get taken down. Cade's going in for the stomp on Posey, got the blind field down. Gonna get the stop on Posey, rallying
nice
Da Vinci.
rally, nice
Getting back into the fight here. Looks like the
Wow,
Screw Ranger coming
down
in.
again.
Da Vinci goes down in the process. Magua coming in with the stop. Looks like Etchy's just doing clean damage. Da Vinci getting
Got him
res.
up,
He's back
got
up
him
in
up
the
again.
fight.
Got him up again. Wow.
Oh my goodness, back and forth.
And this is what we were talking about. These teams are so good at their mechanics. This is exactly what Key was talking about earlier. Those mechanics of the 2-on-2s and the 3-on-3s, getting each other up, stomping the enemy. That's what they've been practicing.
Pretty even now, so we're getting pretty far in the game here. Clock is going down. It's currently about 360 points at 203. Car Crash obviously in the lead here. What does Sync need to do?
They got to get on mid. They cannot let that mid go uncontested like that. They're just losing points every single time the clock ticks.
I think they're in a good position right now to try to go for that midpoint. We do have Cade trying to engage Lady Nagnag in roads. We have another Ranger coming up from the side. It looks like we Twerp trying to get on that point, trying to get that decap, it looks like. Cade does go down. Zopfi coming in with the Plague Res. Not quite able to get him up. There's a lot of players from CC coming in right now.
They are, but the petting zoo has already set up shop at the midpoint. Here we go. Let's see how long he can hold off a 2-on-1 here. So Twerp's going to try to hold his 2-on-1 as long as he possibly can. He's already got the nude off, so he's neutralized the point. They're not getting points from it anymore. But if he can't push him back off, they're going to take it. Now it's a 3-on-1. He's going to have to be careful here.
Oh my.
The Zombify's coming in from the other side to try to help here. I think it's just too much damage. Yep.
Did you
It's
see
just
that?
too much damage.
Red team got a
Like,
capture
Twerp is
point.
down, like you said. He looks like he's going to get taken out here.
Lord Nagnag and Lady Nagnag just running around causing havoc. That's what they said they wanted to do.
Zombi getting caught out once again. So we do see Cade moving. It looks like he's going to be moving over here towards mine, but he got zoned out by Posey. Posey's going to try to chase him down a
He's just
little
trying to
bit
get away
here.
from those Connies. Those Connies are brutal on a thief. If a Necro gets a hold of a thief, it's very, very bad for the thief.
Oh, actually, Cade might get the decap here, though.
Nice. And the stolen
There's a
NPC.
lot of players coming in there. He's got to get out. He's going to get the decap. He's done his job.
But he's got to be careful here. Now, they did just pick up the NPC on the far side of the map from here. That was great crossplay, but they've got to do something about middle because they're going to lose it if they're not careful.
If Cade can get out of this, it's going to be amazing.
Wow, that's just...
He got the refuge down. They didn't do any AoE inside of it. Cade's still alive here. Looks like he's going to
Did
be
you see
fine.
that?
CC moving.
Red team
I
got
wonder
a
if they just said,
capture
you know what,
point.
don't worry about it. Just stay on the point. Just stay on the point and go to mid. They've only got 35 points, and they're going to be able to take this first game. Car Crash is just thinking, hold that middle point. Hold that middle point.
All right, you can see Super here just laying down the AoE, trying to take down those spirits here. Warrior is absolutely amazing with longbow and taking the spirits out.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's
They
almost
do
like a perfect counter to Spirit
They do
Ranger.
so. That's why they're seeing play in the game right now.
That's the point here. Looks like Twerp doing a little work on point. Lady Nagnag actually getting taken down here. Looks like some clean damage coming in.
No,
possibly.
they've neutralized it. Look at the score has stalled. They're stalled. They're 14 points away, Car Crash is, but oh my gosh, I think they're going to be able to actually maybe push them off that point.
Well, we do have Da Vinci and Kate over here on side point taking out Lord Nagnag. Kate trying to do his best to get him down. Looks like Da Vinci's going to leave Kate here possibly just to try to let him finish up the 1v1.
I think he's going to have to try to.
We do have Super capping a point, though.
Oh, this is going to be rough.
That's going to be the nail in the
That
coffin.
could be the
Hedge is
game.
going.
That could be the game right there. They got to answer that. Now you can see
Did you
Da
see
Vinci
that?
coming all the way across,
Red
but he's
team
coming
got
from
a capture
across the
point.
map to try to answer it.
That's going to be it.
That could be it. I don't think he can make it there.
It's going to be impossible.
It's
There's
gonna
no
be
way he can
8,
get there and get the decap in time.
7, it's going to happen. He's going to have a really hard time doing this. It's going to be hard to push that warrior off that point in the next 5 seconds. Especially with the immobilized landing. That's going to be it.
All right,
GG.
so game 1 going to Car Crash, guys.
Wow, game 1 to Car Crash.
GG.
I also put a WP in there, which means well played.
Oh.
I don't know if you know that or not, but
Right, you're very
that's
well
what
mannered.
the kids say.
You're very
these
well
days.
mannered.
Yeah, the kids say WP.
So what did we see there?
So we saw 2 very interesting things, I think. Number 1 was the opening from Sync. They basically didn't even worry about their home point. They just went all the way across the map and started playing a very offensive game where they focused on the middle of the map and their opponent's side of the map. They didn't even worry about the home point, which was very, very interesting. And it worked at first. But then later I think we saw that Warrior was able to start doing so much AoE damage that he was able to actually take out the petting zoo, as you called it. Keep the petting zoo in check, maybe.
I think he did.
Those were 2 amazing.
I think that's the main thing, is that Warrior completely countered the Spirit Rangers.
I don't know about completely countered,
for,
but it helps.
Well, the score doesn't lie.
The scores don't lie, sure. I'm sure that tomorrow we'll see nothing but,
Warriors all day.
Five Warriors on a team, and
It's
they're just going to
viable.
be saying,
It's viable.
we'll take you to the petting zoo and destroy the petting zoo. I'm sure that's what we'll be seeing. So the teams are getting ready for the next map. Why don't we talk about this next map real quick? We're going to be moving into Legacy of the Faux Fire.
I would have to say it's probably my favorite map.
Why is it your favorite map?
It has the strongest comeback mechanic in the game.
It does indeed, I think.
So the crucial thing is here, again, it's Conquest. So we have the 3
yes.
cap points. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the map here. Maybe we can get some eyes on it. There we go. So, again, the 3 cap points.
3 cap points, yeah.
And then we have the secondary objective, which is going to be the Guild Lord. The Guild Lord, if you kill it, it's going to immediately award your team 150 points. So if you get your team to the 350-point threshold and then kill the enemy Guild Lord, you've instantly won the game.
Automatically win.
Automatically win. I've seen some insane comebacks.
You have called some amazing games that I have watched that had me on the edge of my seat where the Guild Lord won the game. And it was amazing to see.
Yeah, Maiden Meta, one of the...
Yes.
They love that comeback.
That was one of the great comebacks we've seen from those guys.
My
that
voice
was
was
amazing.
very hoarse after that. I was shouting. It was
So
insane.
what do you usually see when you see this map? What are some of the opening gambits that you'll see from teams? In relation to the Guild Lord, they don't honor the Guild Lord at the beginning, usually, because they're not afraid of the points at the beginning. But after midway through the game changes. The map changes.
It does. And again, like I mentioned before, like once you get that 350-point threshold, that's when it gets intense. Especially if both teams are close to that threshold. A lot of times it'll come down to a base race.
Right.
Both teams will split off and go to the enemy team base, try to take down those doors, and try to push in. We've seen some games come down literally to seconds. One team going for each team going for the enemy team's Lord, taking out, and whoever has the most damage wins.
And that's what you'll see. Like we'll start to notice some things here. I think that you might see some small changes to the comps to see if the teams can try to get down the doors, because the doors are very resilient to condition damage, so you want to go at them with physical damage. And also, once you get into what Guild Wars 1 players called the boat, the Guild Lord boat. Little backstory for you. The reason they call it that is because on the original Guild Wars 1 map, you had 2 opposing teams. Map looked roughly like this. One of the teams was defending a castle-like area.
What was this game type called?
Kill the Guild Lord. GPG. So then the opposing team, though, would actually arrive on a boat. I'm on a boat. Take a good hard look at the boat. We came on a boat. Okay. So they would actually call it get back in the boat, defend the boat, is what people would, in the community would call it. And that name has kind of stuck around in the Guild Wars 2 community. People still sometimes refer to it as the Guild Lord room or the Guild Lord boat. And when you're in that room, you've got NPCs that can help the Guild Lord, help keep it up. So you've got to take those out first sometimes, depending on your comps. Some comps can just say, you know what, screw the NPCs, we're going to go right for the Guild Lord's throat, see what you can do about it.
It definitely creates for some interesting games. I've seen some, like I said before, some just absolutely, I can't sit down standing up.
I imagine you at home in your boxers with a beer, just chugging a beer, calling a game.
This is pretty accurate, actually.
Hey guys, it's Grouch. How you doing? Don't have any. It's pants optional Friday.
Are we ready to go in?
I think
as much as I want to talk about my underwear and beer, I would rather.
I just want to make sure we talk
the
about
next game.
I just wanted to make sure that you were embarrassed because that's my only.
I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
It looks like all of Car Crash is in, and we are waiting on a member from Sync.
They can't have gone far.
I think they're still in the building. We have actually trackers strapped to each of their ankles just to
I mean, I
make
can
sure.
see them from here. So
Yeah,
I think they're still
yeah,
here.
well, if you
Okay.
want to be literal about it, yeah, sure. Looks like they still they're still having the same issue that we had before. Yep, but it looks like it's almost good. So I think that one thing we need to talk about too is the middle cap point on this map and how it's different from a lot of the other middle cap points you see in the rest of the game. This was intentional, so talk about what this does to the map. What does this do to have such a large middle conquest?
Okay, so this map is super conducive to team fighting.
Yes.
Especially on the center point here. And that's actually interesting now that you bring it up. So we're going to talk about two things here.
Okay.
So the opening split that we mentioned before, we saw
Right.
all of, I believe it was Sync move across, right? On this one, usually what you see is a lot of times Guardians going into mid and kind of duking it out for a little while.
Right,
When
right.
you have the enemy team will be pushing your close point.
Yes.
So it depends. And if you have a team fight comp, you want to push the fight into mid. You want to cap your home point and you want to get into mid. If you have a very good like a 2v2 comp, kind of like where you can fight in small numbers on side points,
Sure.
you want to push the far point.
How is this? We've talked about this warrior a little bit. How is this warrior going to fare in those middle fights? It's a hammer longbow warrior. It's what we saw last game. Is it going to be strong for that?
Not as strong. The longbow is still really good in these team fights.
Sure.
The radius on his adrenaline ability is enormous.
Sure.
And it applies burning, which is, even though he's not a Condi warrior, they still hurt pretty well.
Right, right.
So it'll be interesting to see those thrown down. Like, it's going to take up a large portion of the point.
Right.
So you don't want to stand in that. Don't stand in the fire.
Okay, so we've learned some things today.
We have. When you want to
Today's
recap?
what was the word of the day we said earlier? Was YOLO? Was it YOLO or hot?
It was hotness. Hotness was the
Okay,
word
so
of
the word
the
is
day.
hotness, which dovetails nicely into the lesson of the day, which is don't stand in fire.
Yes.
Which is good. So we're learning some things here today at the.
Well, we wanted to make
the
it
Killers
educational.
too.
We wanted to make it educational for everyone at home that
Sure,
may not
sure.
be familiar with the game. We also have YOLO, nice, and savvy. Is that savvy?
No, actually,
Saucy.
I wrote saucy because I wanted us to
Okay.
say saucy a lot, but we're not really saying saucy
No,
very
we'll work
much.
it in. We'll work it in. We got time.
So
It's only
we'll
game
get
one.
into it. So what do you think is going through the minds of Sync right now? They've been in this position before. They've been down 0-2 and were able to come back. They're now looking at 0-1. What do you think they're thinking about right now?
Hopefully just the next map. I hope this hasn't affected them too much. I mean, it's only one game down. It is a best of 5, so they have to lose 3 times.
Okay, I wonder if they're going to. I'm just really excited about the opening split because I wonder what's going to happen here. You don't have the same crossing capability that you have on that you have on Forest, but on this map you do have the ability to push very hard at your opponent's back point, as you said earlier. And I'm really interested to see what those opening splits are going to look like because I think that the opening split last game kind of set this tone that said we're going to be very aggressive. We're going to stay on your half of the map and really pressure you really hard. And CC was able to adapt. They said, okay, let's stabilize, let's adjust. They got us really nice opening hit, but let's adjust and adapt, and let's come back on that. And I think that's what we saw.
Yeah, it should be interesting. And like you mentioned before, I guess just go back and touch on what you wanted to originally talk about with the large point in the mid.
Sure.
So one thing here is what we see on NA a lot is a lot of bunker wars.
And by NA, you mean?
North America.
North America.
North America.
Okay, not South America.
So we have a lot of bunker wars. So both Guardians will bring in a hammer, and they'll try to use the banish, the
Bunker
4 ability
wars.
to.
Okay.
They'll try to knock each other off the point, get the
Sure.
decap, get the full cap, and
Right.
It's actually a really interesting mini game played between Guardians on point.
Right.
It's not the funnest to watch because you don't see big numbers going out, but
Right.
there actually is a lot of skill in Guardian versus Guardian.
Yep, yep.
On this map, you don't see that as much just because the cap point is really extremely large.
And because the cap point is larger, you have more space to move around and still be in contention for the point.
It's
is the thing, right?
It's more forgiving. If you get banished,
sure.
there's a larger range you have to go before you actually get knocked off the point.
Right,
and
right.
and if, there's all the nice walls too, so you actually can't fly off the point.
Right,
We'll go to the next map. It's gonna be Kylo.
Right.
There's some positions you can get into where you can get knocked down, potentially die,
Sure.
or just be delayed at least 5 seconds running back up to the
But you
point.
do have the elevation in the middle too, which is where, like for instance, a Necro, a long-range offensive all-in Necro can rain down just tons of conditions from those elevated positions, which is something that's also very important in this map.
What we've been seeing a lot lately is that we'll have the Guardians move into the midpoint, and then we'll have all the ranged DPS, even like the Thieves with their ranged weapons, will kind of sit up on the ledges waiting for either to take down the enemy team Guardian or kind of just waiting for the team to move in.
So you're saying that both teams kind of just say they're going to sacrifice their
Well,
Guardians. The Guardians run into the middle, and the teams just sit up and say, okay, whichever one dies first, let's go res them.
They're waiting for one team to all in, essentially,
Okay,
and go,
okay.
okay, enough of this. Let's just get it going.
Right, right.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We do have all of our players in the game, looks like.
We do have all of our players. I think we are almost ready to go. I'm asking.
Da Vinci's now on his third mouse.
This is actually, he's actually brought in just one of those roller balls. I think he's using a roller ball now. He's decided that's actually more sturdy technology that he wants to use instead of a mouse. So
Okay, all right.
we'll see how he does with that.
All right, so whenever we get the ready up here from our good friends over there that's controlling the arena, I guess we'll get going into our second game.
I wonder how the petting zoo's doing. Do you worry about the petting zoo? I'm worried about the petting zoo.
I'm starting to regret that.
No, I liked it. I liked it because it painted a very jovial, happy picture in my mind of being a kid and, you know, petting the llama. Look, it's a llama.
You know, the only time I've actually been mugged one time in my life, and it was actually at a petting zoo.
By one of the animals?
By an animal. I had my pamphlet in my wallet, and they came up behind me and stole the pamphlet and my wallet at the same time.
The
Wow.
match starts soon.
So it looks like we are going to be underway here very soon, and hopefully no one gets robbed by the petting zoo.
They could be robbed of a win.
They could be robbed of a
Chance to
win by the
nail
petting
down your
zoo. Sure, that's one way to
strategy.
look at it. All right, let's look at these opening pushes again.
All right, guys,
Here we
game
go.
two,
Game
Sync versus
two.
Car Crash.
Hold on to your points. Seize theirs.
All right, watching the opening splits come out here. Looks to
Ooh,
be...
interesting. Interesting.
Looks-
Is
we do
that your
see
Yoda
multiple-
voice?
We do see multiple players from, looks like it's going to be Sync moving over towards the quarry. We do have Posey, or pardon me, Super getting on point. Posey's over here going to be trying to stave off some of the attackers coming in. Kate coming in stealth, going to try to put some damage onto Super, getting him down. Not too low. Didn't have that a lot of opening burst here. Zombify and Posey kind of engaging a little 1v1 on the road. So going to get onto him here.
Wow, that is a lot of aggression at CC's back point. Look at that aggression.
All inning on the far point push. Over here on Waterfall, looks like Sync's going to be giving up their home point.
Again, yes, this is what we saw last game.
And
Oh,
back
no,
over-
no, but Twerp is going to answer.
Red
Oh,
team
Torp's
wins
coming in.
the
He's not going to hit
capture
there quite in
point.
time, though, unfortunately. So they will get the full cap there. Back
Yep.
over here on the midpoint, we do have Da Vinci currently in a 1v1 with Mogwao. This is gonna be a while. So let's just move over here to back over here to the quarry. Looks like Super's getting pretty low here. The play coming out from Zombify. Try to stay alive. You can see his health was getting extremely low here. Looks like he's gonna get taken down. He does go down here. Posey's down on top of him. Kate coming in with the cleave damage. Gonna be able to get the rally up onto Zombify, it looks like. And I believe we'll be having Sync taking this point as soon as they can get Lord Nagnag down.
And across the map, Twerp just went down in a one-on-one against Lady Nagnag. So Car Crash has taken far, and they have secured far point.
I got my camera there just in time to see the cow come down.
That was good. Well, you got to see the cow, man. I mean, we've already talked about the petting zoo. Got to make sure we get those cows, too.
All right, back over here on mine, my goodness, I'm failing here.
Where are you? Oh, my Lord. We're in Seattle. Are you okay?
I'm all right. I'm here. It looks like Vendetta does go down here. Looks like Lord Nagnag getting a good position to get the stomp off. Looks like it's going to happen. Yep, he's going to go down. Both the players going down from Sync. Kate getting caught out in roads here. Looks like CC's in a really strong position coming out.
This
Right out of the
opening
gate.
gambit, so
You see that?
at this point I
Red
think
team
Sync's got to
got a
recollect
capture
themselves.
point.
They went with that gambit, the far point push. They were able to get it, but they lost too much in the trade, I think. That's what they're trying to recover from right now.
All right, looks like
Red
we're going to let
team
CC
wins
have that
the
midpoint.
capture
They're going to be
point.
moving back over here to Waterfall, kind of just regrouping, it looks like.
Twerp,
Making sure they don't lose
They
that.
want their point. They want home back. They just said, you know what, let's just get home and make sure that we keep it. This is going to be a big fight over here because we have actually two different types of animals coming into the point now, so be ready for that.
Now, one thing to note, it looks like Kate is going to be coming in, going behind Super, going to try to get that decap there. He did not have his stealth up. Looks like Shadow's was still on cooldown. Looks like Super's going to be responding to this here. He's going to try to engage Super off the point, try to get a little damage onto him.
Yep.
Not quite doing that much, though. Looks like Super's going to be fine. They're going to try to have a little 1v1 here. We'll come back to that in a moment. All right, over here on Waterfall, we do, like you mentioned before, we do have the Petty Zoo.
We have two petting zoos, actually.
They're in town right now.
They have coalesced into a super petting zoo.
Looks like Posey goes down. Zombify getting pretty low as well.
Wow.
Team fight.
Kate just went down far point to the war. Wow, that was an amazing fight. So I watched it while you guys were elsewhere because we have two monitors because of technology in the future.
Yes.
And
Quite-
that's
quite
basically,
fancy.
that was amazing. So he was able to hold the point, actually, pop his Berserker stance, live, and actually defend that point. So they have a 135-10 lead right now. So Car Crash is, they
full
figured
control.
something out.
They're in
They've
full control
figured
right now.
something out here. I think that they kind of have got a sense of how Sync likes to play, and I think that they've kind of figured out how to deal with it. That's what we're seeing.
Looks like Zombie's going to be trying to catch Lady Nagnag off the point here. He's getting extremely low. Actually gets taken down. Looks like the Shadow Refuge did go down from Lady Nagnag in time, so they're going to try to lay down some blind AoE here. Not going to be quite enough
He
to
got up.
keep
Wow,
down, though.
nice.
Very nice job there by Lord Nagnag getting the res up on the Lady Nagnag. Hopefully it's not confusing for you guys watching at home. Lord
That's
and
one of those
Lady.
things- That's one of those things we keep talking about. You're going to go down. You're going to take losses in the game. But if you can get your allies back up, you can get them back in the game. And that's what it's those mechanics that we talked about earlier. And then Car Crash seems to be executing those mechanics better than Sync right now.
Car Crash is doing a really nice job of staying on Zombify here as well. As you can see, Zombify got rezzed up. He got up, tried popping his heel,
right,
got it off, went to Death Shroud, and just got completely eaten alive.
They just stayed on him. They were just tenacious.
They just took him down. He got rezzed up again. He went down one more time. He actually finally gets stomped out here, it looks like. One thing to note is every time you go down in succession, you're going to have a smaller amount of health in that state.
It's true. It's the more you know. Good job, bud. I don't know. At this point, I think Sync is just, they've got to collect themselves. They've got to get home first, then they've got to push into mid, and they've got to start playing for 2 versus 1 as far as the cap points go, because spreading out the map right now seems to be hurting them.
Well, we have a decap on the midpoint right now. Kate came in over here on Super on side point here.
Yep,
and looks like Kate was able to not quite get the decap off. Going to be engaging Super in a 1v1 here. Looks like he did throw down the Firefield mentioned before from the longbow.
Exactly.
So it's something that Kate doesn't want to stand in.
Although the blinds are big from the Thief here. He can keep this warrior shut down for a time.
And you can see it almost covers the entire point.
It does, because this is a smaller point, as we said. The middle point, you don't get nearly as much coverage from your area of effect skills, but at those far points you do because they're smaller, and that's where that longbow really starts to shine.
One thing to know, over here on Waterfall, Sync is just continually funneling in here and losing these fights. They can't control their home point. They're having a hard time getting Quarry. Over here on mid,
So,
they do have Twerp coming in trying to get that full cap there. Might be able to get it, but they do have players from CZ coming in to try to prevent
I don't know that they're going to be able to get that in time. At Farpoint, we've actually got a downed battle going on right now between Cade and Super. They've got it. Oh! And the Warrior says, guess what, son? This is my point. And he's got the candy cane. He's rocking the candy cane. I like it.
All right, back up here at the midpoint. Looks like they're still trying to contest it here. Twerp to get on point. They had Mogwa get on point at the same time, though, so make sure they keep it contested. Sync still doesn't have Waterfall, though.
They've got to get home point. They've got to start to contest mid. They've got to start focusing on those 2 points. They also really need to start watching the score. It's almost coming up on 300, and we said 350 was that magic number. A team can get to 350, lose the entire rest of the map, and just go for the throat and go for your Guild Lord.
Yeah, at this point, though, do they really want to go for it? I mean, they're in control
They're
of the
winning.
map.
I don't know. I don't know that you need to at this point. What you're doing is working. I don't think that you change it up.
That is absolutely right. So Vendetta going down on the point here. Looks like the res is coming in from Da Vinci, able to get it back up here into the fight.
Nice res.
Res amidst the AoE. Looks like Vendetta's taking a lot of damage here again, though. The bleeds, the Condies all over Vendetta's face. Able to get the cleanse off. He's going to be back in the fight here. Posey actually going down for Car Crash. The res coming out immediately, though, from Car Crash. You saw all of them ball up almost immediately for that res. They were on point.
They called it out. And really good teams, that's what they'll do. Say, guys, I'm about to go down. Here's where I am. Get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm going down now. They'll actually call it like a spike, like an offensive spike. We're going to spike this target. 3, 2, 1, spike the target. They'll also be really communicative and say, hey, I'm about to go down. 3, 2, 1, I'm down. So teams know how to really deal with that.
Zombify went down. Da Vinci throwing down the Sanctuary, trying to get him back up. He's going to opt to leave him to rot. Da Vinci goes down. We also have Kate down and Zombify down. Oh, the rally coming out. So that's actually the Spirit Ranger res coming in.
It was the petting zoo. It was the
petting zoo came in, saved the day. Triple res. So Sync's actually back in the fight here at mid. They do have Waterfall back now as well. It's going to be a tough climb. But they got a way to go.
They're starting. They're sinking their feet in the ground. This is what they needed to do.
They're syncing up.
They're sinking. Nicely done. They're syncing up. Looks like Farpoint though. Like you look at the Lady Nag Nag being sneaky with that thief. Sneaky. Just so cute. A little bit of service.
Red team wins a capture point.
Wow, so that's 2 points. They have both far points right now. So Car Crash is putting themselves in a really good position to take this game too right here.
And Car Crash, like you said, holding both side points. Mogwa goes down in the midpoint here. Lady Nag coming with the Shadow Refuge. Able to get that res off on him. Pretty much no problem. No one from Sync was really there to do anything about Mogwa going down.
No, they weren't.
Now they're balling up on Zombify. Like I said before, Zombify extremely susceptible to getting taken out.
Posey's down. Yep. Lord Nag Nag is down as well.
This could be a turning point in the mid-fight.
This is a good fight for them. Team Sync coming out with a really strong fight right here. Zombify nearly down, but he keeps himself up. Switches into Plague for him. I think they're going to take this fight. This is what they needed. They needed something like this. They needed a big wipe. They needed a really big wipe. This is what Sync needed. All right, let's see what they can do with it.
One thing to note, though, the only team that's currently generating points is going to be Car Crash. They do have Waterfall capped currently. Looks like we have Lady Nagnig over here trying to cap that Quarry. Looks like Twerp coming in, going to try to keep it neutralized. Going to make it on point in time. Da Vinci and Zombify coming in to support there as well. I'm not sure if Lady Nagnig is going to be able to disengage and get out of there, but he's going to keep him tied up at least for a little while.
He's going to try, and at the other side of the map, we've got Cade versus Posey in a one-on-one. So this is going to be Thief against Necro. Let's see how this goes here.
Well, like I mentioned before, Cade's build is actually very strong against Posey because he's able to spam that headshot onto Posey. Almost everything on a Necromancer has a cast time.
Oh, they're going to be able to take this. I think that you also see Zombify's coming in to seal the deal. Seal the deal. He did his moves. He did his dance moves is what he did there. All right. They're going to be able to take that point. Let's see what they can do. They have contestation at all 3 points right now. Everything's neutral. Sync has brought the map back to neutral. Let's see what they can do with it.
This is a crucial time right now. Like you said, all points are decapped. They are at a huge deficit right now. About 330 points, for those of you counting at home.
Blue team grabbed the
You can come back. All right, there's 1 point down for Sync. Let's see what they can do with it.
And Twerp getting res up over here on Quart. Looks like Da Vinci coming with that clutch res. Lord Nagnig still on point. Lady Nagnig coming in, putting the damage on Twerp. Sanctuary goes down. Twerp gets taken out, though. Looks like Lady Nagnig going to try to
stop,
please damage out.
Stop.
Here it comes.
Oh, nice interrupt.
Nice res.
Nice interrupt. Wow.
Lady Nagnig getting very low again, though. This is just everyone just jumping around.
They're excited, man. Yeah, that's what you do when you get to go pet some animals, right? You get excited.
So we do have Sync generating points right now. They have Waterfall currently. The timer's about 5 minutes left on here.
But look at the hit point bars. Look at all of Car Crash. They're really, really low. But look at Sync. They're actually okay. They've got Vendetta down, but they can get some if they need to. Vendettas go down, but it's still a 4. It's a 4. If they get down Mogwai, it's going to be a 4-3 right now.
Well, Zombify's on midpoint, pretty much alone right now. I think he's down. No, Zombify gets him down. Wow, they got
Sync is able to push that around.
Oh, Cade's coming into the midpoint here as well. Zombify is currently on the point. Vin is down. Oh my goodness,
Cade's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Zombify as well. Let's see what they can do with this. Cade's trying to do as much blind and shutdown as he can. Yep.
Zombify laying those marks out, trying to get a little AoE going. Looks like he's able to take Posey down. Looks like Cade coming over the stomp, able to. Ooh, very nice job there. So we do have Sync mounting a comeback here.
They have both outside cap points right now.
Don't count them out.
They're doing exactly what they needed to do to come back in this game. As we said earlier, they came back from 0-2 to win 3-2 in the semifinals. Like, they've been in this position before. They have been down before. They're showing us that they can come back. They got to get this middle point. Cade goes down again.
All right, looks like we do have a decap going out onto Waterfall right now. The backpoint player for Sync needs to be watching this.
They've got to be, but right now they've also got to be sure that they hold far point as well. They're still playing 3 points. They're still playing 3 points and trying to get it to work.
Did you see that?
Zombify coming in, not quite able to get there in time to keep it neutralized. The Super will be capping that point there. So once again, we do have points being generated for Car Crash. Score is currently 405 to 164. Sync way behind. Needs to mount an insane comeback to come back from this. But, again, don't count them out. They have it in them.
They can do it. They're doing it in little bitty strings, but every time that they get up, they move 1 step forward and Car Crash pushes them 2 steps back. Like, they're able to jump in there, but then Car Crash comes right back at them. Wow, I can actually hear the players yelling at each other.
I can actually hear them through my headphones.
They are really yelling at each other. They're intense over there.
Invigorating.
Sounds like someone's dying over there.
Lord Nagnig can take it down on point through the focus there. Gets stomped out. Twerp actually taking a lot of damage here as well. He's going to try to get off point. Little passive Connie removal going on Twerp. He's going to try to get out of here, get that heal off. And I think he's going to be able to just fine. Vendetta getting caught out in roads here by Posey. He's going to get stomped out by Lady Nagnig. Twerp coming in, going to be pushing through, trying to get that decap over here on Quarry. Twerp in a really bad spot right now, though. They do get Posey down. Twerp trying to stay alive. Lady Nagnig trying to get him down. Actually gets him taken down. The Shadow Fish stomp coming out. Zombify, get that stomp off. Go for it. Oh, no. Oh, the fear. YOLO. Do something. Words. Oh, no. Go back. Posey's going to go down from damage. It looks like Lady Nagnig going for the rest. Oh, it's the interrupt.
So close. Oh, nice. Wow. Okay, that's 2 points. Sync's got 2 points right now. They've only got 1 that they don't have right now, so they are making a slow climb. The question is, do they have enough point spread to come back? Do they have the time right now? It's 469 to 2 now.
Well, the thing is, they need to get a decap right now on Quarry, and they also need to keep an eye out for their base.
Their home point.
Worst case scenario, CC could all in the base right now. Let Sync have all those points, and they could just kill the Gold Lord and be done. Game over.
20 points. We've got to see what. So Sync's got to do something about their home point right now. They've got to do something, and then as well as far point for them. Mine. They've got to get that thing neutralized. They have to. Or this game, they're gonna lose the game off mine if they cannot get that thing decapped.
The decap is off on Waterfall right now, so again, keeping it pretty even here. We just got to get the decap on Quarry. If they can get the decap on this, that would be... Oh, there goes a kill.
I don't know if he can
That's
get
going to be
That's
game
gonna be
2.
That's it. Wow. 2-0. I don't know. And they had those windows. They had those windows. They had the opportunities.
They did. We saw some clutch plays.
We saw the plays.
The plays. It was good. So, game 3. Well, I guess before game 3, I guess we're going to bring in...
we have a special guest.
We do have a special guest.
A special guest. Let's see if he's around here somewhere.
Do
I
we-
think he is.
Oh, there he is. Look at that.
This dapper young lad over here.
Let me scoot back, make some room for him. So, for those of you who may not recognize this handsome gentleman, this is SupCutie that plays for Absolute Legends. They faced off against Team Sync in the finals and the preliminaries.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So-
Doing well, thanks.
Oh,
There we go.
Nice. The baritone
All
comes
right.
out. I like it. All right.
So you've been watching these games. What's going
Yeah.
on? Like, what do you think's
So-
going on?
I think Sync really needs to group up and do their team fight.
Sure.
It's really strong, and it showed in that last match that actually when they did group up in mid, they won the fight. Yeah, they won the fight. And we saw that when they split, they were losing the fights.
Yes, yes.
So in the first game, one of the important things that I saw was Vendetta actually pushed far instead of Cade, and he tried to full cap the points instead of like just nuding it and coming mid.
Right.
Right, and then he got 2v1'd, and so then Car Crash was able to snowball back into mid.
Right.
And in game 2, what I saw was Sync didn't regroup at Waterfall.
Shit.
And so...
Why is that important? Why is it important for them to get that? Is it because they want that home point so they can just use that as like an anchor point to launch further attacks from, or why is that important?
So it's important because they don't want to funnel in and just die repeatedly in outnumbered engagements.
Sure.
So actually, I think that Sync should have left Waterfall even though they were trying to defend it and just went back through their portal and completely regrouped, like portal into their base and then gone back out. Because once you start funneling into a nuded point when you're 2-capped, like you will continue to just lose points, and then if you try to go decap them, then your team is outnumbered on home node, and so you'll just continually be behind.
Well, I feel like Sync tried to funnel into that, or they tried to go into that point as a group. I think they lost the team fight though, and we did eventually see them move away from that point. I think that's when they recognized like we can't take them on this high point like this.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, they eventually went to Arcade. Actually, I think went to. What was it, Mine?
Yeah.
And then
it seems like, though, like overall, what I keep seeing is that they need to be careful because they're pushing this 3-point strategy, this crazy opening, and then sometimes they do well in those team fights, and then they go away from it. It'll work for them, and then they keep going away from it back to the 3-point strategy. And you saw Car Crash come back and they said, nope, we're going to hold our home point, we're going to keep it, we're going to play traditional, push into far when we need to, but they just played a much stronger game to try to counter that opening strat of three points from Sync.
So I think the most important thing that Sync can do right now is they need to team fight, and when they go to back cap, they need to newt rather than try to full cap.
So they're spending too much time trying to take it for themselves. They need to just keep it neutralized. Let's go to 2 points. You just keep that back one out of the game, kind of is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thanks. We're going to jump into the next map now. Thank you, everybody. That was SupCutie, for those of you who don't know. One of the best-known players in NA, I would have to say. So we're going to be jumping into a new map now with a new secondary mechanic. You want to talk about that a little bit, Grouch?
I would love to.
Alrighty.
All right, so on this map in particular, we have a little bit different secondary mechanic.
How do you pronounce the word?
Tree bucket.
Tree bucket. I've heard it trebuchet.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways. I've heard it both ways.
That's a little different.
Tree bucket.
I've never heard of that.
I've actually heard tree bucket before. That's I've actually never heard that too.
I've never heard trebuchet. Must be French.
All right, so let's talk about this map. Now, in the last map...
Well, should we talk about the trebuchet?
The trebuchet?
Tree bucket?
Let's talk about the tree bucket, all right? We'll call it a tree bucket. So we're going to go out and get the animal farm and go to the tree bucket? All right, go for it.
Yes. So the mechanic on this one's a little bit different. It's a little bit more of an attrition-based mechanic.
Right.
So the trebuchet is, well, it's a trebuchet. It's like a catapult that slings balls of fire
But it's very important because it has so much area of effect damage, and it's also going to knock back anybody that it hits, which is huge. It interrupts stomps, it interrupts a res, it interrupts a heal. Anything that it hits, it'll interrupt if you're not ready for it.
The thing to keep in mind, though, is that when you are manning your trebuchet, you're currently playing the map 4v5.
Yes.
So you have to devote an entire player to sitting on the trebuchet, and you also have the ability of going to the enemy trebuchet and taking it out. So if you can go up there, engage the player on that trebuchet, kill the trebuchet, completely take it out of the game.
Sure.
They'll have the option to repair it, but again, that's time spent moving around on the map, not killing anyone, not capping points. You're just picking up that repair kit, moving over to the trebuchet, repairing it, and then getting back on it.
And it's really interesting. I think that watching a lot of the teams, they will morph their compositions in order to take advantage of the trebuchet, or just say, we're not going to play without it, but guess what? We're going to make sure that you don't get it either. So we're just going to send a lot of physical damage right at your trebuchet, maybe a warrior, for instance. We're going to jump right on it. We're going to take it down, and we're not going to use our own. And then other teams say, nope, we're going to build around 4 players out in the field and 1 person who always keeps the trebuchet up. There's a lot of ways to play this map, actually.
I think the most popular way that I've seen is that a player from a team will sit on the trebuchet until someone comes to try to get them off, and they'll just leave it. They'll just leave it right away. Because a lot of times what happens is that player will sit there and spend all that time trying to take that trebuchet down, and it really can waste a lot of time, depending on what possession you're playing.
And it's hard sometimes for, I think, newer players to know, should I leave the treb? Am I really being efficient right now? Should I just leave this and go help my team? It's a hard call, I think, to make for younger players or newer players, but these guys, I don't think they're going to have a problem with that. They're going to know instantly what they want to do with that treb.
Well, even in a high-level game, it's a hard decision to make, because if you leave the trebuchet alive, like if they dip set on you when you're at the trebuchet and they leave, and you spend the time taking it out, again, that's time you could be somewhere else on the map. But if you leave it up, they could just come back and get back on it again,
and a lot of teams
use plays back and forth.
I've seen a lot of teams too. What they'll do is they'll get it down to maybe like 5% health. They just barely leave it, so they can come back and kill it if they need to. Because as soon as they do that, now you have to waste time going to get the repair kit if you want to. So they'll actually leave it there, say, all right, you can have 5% health on that. As soon as you touch it again, we're going to come kill it. I've actually seen teams bait, if you will, another team with that and just say, here's your treb if you want to use it. And sometimes it just makes the other team think, well, we should be using our treb, and they left it up for a reason, or maybe we should just ignore it now. I don't know what to do.
It looks like we're in the game now.
It looks like we're.
I guess I'll pull up the map here and we'll talk a little bit about it. Again, one thing I want to touch on before we get going, we've been mentioning this a couple times, this is the Guardian versus Guardian play.
Guardian versus Guardian play.
And on this map, it's a little bit different because the point is really small and it's elevated, like you mentioned before. If you're playing the knockback wars on this map, you can get knocked back into these little areas over here.
Yes.
Nope, and over here. And if you do, it's terrible. You feel bad, for one. But it takes so long to get back up onto the point.
Especially if they have something like a line of warding or something like that that's locks off an area of the map. If they don't have stability, your opponent, they can't come through that. So you could actually lose an entire point from just a couple button presses if you're not really watching what you're doing.
So it's something to look out for. It's fun. I think it's fun. It's not fun to watch, but there's an interesting little mini game that gets played there.
I
Popping
think it's
ages, stability,
really,
using the knockbacks correctly.
Really fun to watch as well. I like watching what these guys do with their builds and how we're seeing them playing on the map right now. They're just knocking each other around, getting ready for what we're talking about. A lot of the players, as we've talked about too, they'll actually change up their builds. So we're seeing some different builds, slightly different builds than what we saw earlier.
See, right now, I guess I'll jump over here because I saw you pop it open. So Lord Nagnag was running Sword.
Sure.
And so the main thing with the Sword here is that if you do get knocked back on that midpoint, you'll be able to teleport back up almost immediately. It is a teleport, and it's on a very short cooldown because it's only his number 2 skill. And so it's one thing you can do to counter the other Guardian on the team is, you get knocked back, you immediately use your Sword to get back on the point, and you haven't really lost that much on your point.
So, do you bring the petting zoo in this map? Is the trebuchet something you're worried about because of all the area of effect, or do you still want the ice cream? The petting zoo.
The ice cream.
I'm gonna get ice cream if we go to the petting zoo. Yeah. You didn't do that when you were a kid?
I didn't know that. We're going together though.
Okay.
So, Spirit Range is very strong on side points, but Spirit Range is really strong in one-on-one engagements.
So why is that?
And team fights though with the elite.
In team fights too. Doesn't the AoE sometimes start to add up for the Ranger if they're not careful? They can actually lose their spirits and not get them up. If you have a Ranger that's set up for this that doesn't have any spirits, they're really not doing that much.
Well, the one thing that they have going in their favor, though, is that AoE is capped, and they have 30 pets.
Sure.
So they can only hit 5 at a time, so that's good.
They multiply. They're like gremlins, right? When they touch water, they just start popping out all over the place.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, again, Rangers are really good. Spirit Rangers specifically are really good on these one-on-one engagements on side points. But if they start to add players in, it's going to get a little bit hairy.
This is interesting.
And you can tell Sing is kind of all-in on this Spirit Ranger comp.
I think, but this, if you recall, though, this is what brought them back when they were down 0-2. This is the comp that brought them back. So I think that's maybe what they're going back to, something that they're familiar with, that they've actually used to climb out of a hole before. They're used to this.
So I guess to set the stage, they're in the exact same position that they're in before.
They are in the exact same
position they were in. They're down 2 games. Just to kind of put in perspective, they need to win 3 games in a row.
This is the exact position they were in.
What is on the
before.
line again? It's like $30, right?
30 bucks, and we paid for the
10,000?
parking. We paid for the parking.
Okay.
Don't forget that.
So they're actually playing right now for $10,000.
$10,000.
And they're down 2-0.
And they're in the same position that they've been in before. 0-2. And it was this map
I feel like
that started the comeback for them. It was this map and their change on this map.
I feel like they're playing with our emotions a little bit.
I wonder if they're just like, is this real? Is this just deja vu? What's going on here?
So pretty much they need to play perfectly for the next 3 games in a row to bring themselves back into this.
They need to, yes.
You know what they could probably use? A little crowd encouragement.
They could use some cheers. The
They
perfect
could.
cheer.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
do you guys want to do the perfect
your North American
cheer?
team, Team Sync, would love. They would like some love. It sounds like.
So is this just love on 3? Oh.
Oh, we're just doing it.
Oh.
No, we're doing it on 3. Let's try that again.
Oh, yeah,
we're gonna do that over.
Okay.
We're gonna try that one more time.
Okay.
Okay. So, you want to lead into it?
No,
that was good. That was nice. I mean, we're gonna try one more time.
Was that hoop? There it is. What was that? All right. So on 3, let's see if you can get some love out of these.
Okay.
American
So again,
fans.
on 3 this time.
All right.
So
in English, just to be sure.
Well, this is North American team.
Okay,
so
just
I
making
assume
sure.
so.
I'm just clarifying.
All right, so guys, on 3, show some love for Team Sync. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, they're gonna need it, guys. They're gonna need your love. Car crash. They're looking pretty confident up there on stage. I think that they know what they need to do. But you look at Sync, and they are just focused. They've been here before.
You know,
They've been here before.
we should give a little love to Car Crash. You know, I
Can
might
we-
be American.
can
I was
we please?
born in the land of the free and the
Can we
home of the
please?
brave. But again, Europe is here representing. So guys, I'd like to hear some
Very, very
cheers.
well. Wait, can I do Europe?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Should I do like uno, dos, tres? Is that cool? All right, so on 3, let's hear some love for Car Crash. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
That was actually pretty close.
I like it. It sounds kind of even. I think that they've just.
Actually, honestly, I can't hear anything.
Well, yeah,
I've got the
that's-
headphones on. So,
yeah. But I think the people just want to see a good game, and they've just seen that Car Crash showed up to play. They came to play.
They did.
The match starts soon. Game 3, guys. This could be it. This could be the finals right here. Let's see what we got. Map's about to reset. Oh, take it away, Grouch. Take it away, sir, Captain.
All right. So again, guys, this is going to be Game 3 coming out. Car Crash in a very good position to win all of this. Sync currently down 2 games. They need to bring it back and win 3 in a row.
Gotta bring it back.
For that chance at a $10,000 prize pool. Splits are coming out. It looks like we're going to be seeing Sync crossing over and possibly Car Crash as well. We do see the Ranger going home point over here for the blue team, and everyone else actually pushing in possibly towards the midpoint.
Looks like it. Everybody watch for trebuchets. You will understand when a trebuchet hits because everything on the map, if it's on the opposing team, will fly out of your screen.
There it was right there.
There it was right there.
Da Vinci taking the trebuchet to the face, getting knocked around. There goes another one.
Oh, it was a good hit too.
Tons of damage all over the place.
Damage.
That trebuchet is absolutely demolishing Sync at the midpoint right now. Nice little dodge there. We'll give him that one.
So you can evade, guys. If you see the trebuchet coming in time, there's also a vocal announcement. You hear like, trebuchet incoming. You can actually evade out of the way with a double tap if you need to.
All right, Kate coming in over here to win. It looks like he might be trying to go for a decap here. We do see Lady Nagnet coming right behind him. Going to try to prevent that full decap. I
This
think
is the
Kate
one-on-one
might
we
have
talked
it.
about.
Oh, he actually teleported back out, so he does get the full decap, it looks like. And it's going to be a little 1v1 going on point here. Kate going to put down the blind field, try to get Lady
one of
Nagnet
those
to go
matchups we
inside of
talked
it.
about.
See that? Red team got a capture point.
Thief on thief. Oh, nice move there.
Oh, Kate kind of in the danger zone
the
right now. He's going
damage.
to lay down that blind field, going to try to get a little damage on him. He actually gets into the stealth with the leaf finisher. It's the hide in shadows down. He's going to use shadow refuge here as well. Lady Nagnet getting back onto the point. And it looks like Kate might be dip setting. But again, that's something that Subcutie talked about, is that he can't be sitting on that far point all day long. Back over here at the midpoint. Looks
But you
like
look at middle, I think that Sing's actually got the upper hand right here.
Yeah, we do see Magua going down, Super coming in, trying to get that res off. Clean damage going out. They're going to be able to get him out. Magua does get stopped out here at the midpoint. Looks like Zombify is getting pretty low here. We do see the heal going out. Getting back onto the point. It's going to be super low. Oh, the knockback coming in from Da Vinci, knocking him off point. Looks like he's going to try to make it back up to the point here. The kind is coming out from Zombify, going to be taking Super down right here below.
Just like that.
And that's going to be Super
All right,
taking
that's
advantage.
that's 2-1. This is the start of a comeback if it does happen. This is the start of it right
grabbed
here.
a capture point.
Looks like Torp's going to be moving off of back point here, moving possibly into the midpoint here. You can see he's like kind of setting himself up.
He's assembling.
He's assembling.
To me, my minions. Get the petting zoo ready to go. Everybody get in the bus. Let's go. Petting zoo away.
All right, you see them moving back into the midpoint here, it looks like. Lady Nagnet going for the decap on Mansion. I don't see... Again, Torp getting decapped.
Yeah, he's got to honor that. He's got to come back for that.
Seems to be a little bit of a recurring theme here today with Twerp getting decapped over here on his home point. We do have Lady Nag Nag getting pretty low. He looks like Twerp's going to be able to scare him off the point, it looks like.
Him off.
You know, Twerp brought friends.
Well, he did bring friends. But Lady Nag is also a thief, so he can come back anytime that he needs to or just stealth away if he wants.
Oh, looks like Cade sees Posey getting pretty low. He knows Posey's heals on cooldown. Cade, where'd you go? Oh, looks like Cade's going to let him go. Let's take a look at where Cade's going. He's got bigger fish to fry.
You look at the middle fight. Look at what you're seeing. You're seeing Posey able to stay out of the fight but just rain down that damage.
Cade coming in with the trebuchets.
Trebuchet.
Oh,
nice
taking out Lord Nag Nag on point. Looks like he was able to. Oh, he's done. He's out.
Posey was also really low because of that treb. He's at like 900 health. 900 health from one treb.
All right, Zombify using the. I'm doing a nice job using the ledges for kind of better advantage on the
He's
positioning.
got to, because Necros traditionally they're just really hard to keep up in a team fight. They've got to kind of stay around the peripheral of a team fight.
We're going to take it down to the midpoint here. Looks like the stomp coming out from Da Vinci. Over here at side point, looks like Super D get a decap on a Manchi. Twerp getting on the point just in time to make sure that they don't get that get the full cap there. Posey coming in to support Super. We have Zombify coming in to help out Twerp. It's going to be a little bit of 2v2 erupting here. Posey is in a very precarious position, though. He did pop his heal off, but he's got no heal for now 20 seconds or so.
He's got a lot of Death Shroud, though, if he needs it. He can jump into Death Shroud and soak up some damage if he needs to.
Looks like Twerp gets taken down. Looks like he was able to get the res off from the Spirit. Posey goes down. Little cleave damage coming in. Oh, the Shadow Refuge comes down. I'm not sure if that was Cade's or whose that was. Looks like Posey's still in down, so he could still get rezzed up. It looks like they might be leaving him there to get bled out, and I think we're going to be seeing Sing taking that point back. Looks like Lady Nag Nag's going to be moving off back in towards the midpoint here, where you do have Da Vinci currently sitting pretty on point.
Sing still got middle. I mean, they're able to do this right now. This is a 2-on-1. This is what we talked about. This is what SubQT was speaking about. Just want to kind of like flirt with that back point. Just hit it a little bit and then focus on your team fight.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
All right, so Car Crash again bringing to the fight here to the midpoint. Oh, the damage coming into Zombify from Lady Nag Nag. Not quite able to spike him down, but Zombify's in a bad position. Does pop that Plague for him. He's only got about 4,000 health right now. He's going to be spamming the blinds on point, trying to prevent as much damage as possible coming into him. He's doing a pretty good job of staying alive right now. Car Crash not quite able to seal the deal on Zombify. Zombify's going to be in a really bad spot, though, when he gets out. Oh, Zombify. Looks like Mogwau's Mogwau was really low. He was actually taken down.
He's back up. He's back up. Sink is able to win that team, but even with the Treb coming in, they were able to hold that point. And right now, Twerp has been able to push Posey off of that Treb, so they're slowing down that Treb. But
yet again, we see the decap on Mansion.
Yep.
The full cap coming out from Lady Nag Nag.
He left home point to go and harass the Treb is what he did. And in doing so, Car Crash said immediately, he's not at home, go take the point again.
Yeah, Twerp coming in, trying to get that back on that point. He's going to be running into a 1v2, though. Looks like he's going to be moving back in towards the midpoint. Oh, I know Cade's here somewhere. It looks like there he is. There's Cade. He's moving onto the point, trying to take out on a 1v1.
Right now, we have Zombify versus Posey. This is one of those matchups we wanted to see. People are streaming in right now, but they were pretty dead even in that fight until people showed up.
I know Zombify asked me over and over, if I get a 1v1 with Posey, I want you to show it on stream.
He actually asked verbatim like 400 times, I think it was.
Didn't quite get the opportunity here. Maybe we'll see it again. Hopefully we'll see it again going into a fourth game.
It's looking like right now Sync they're going to be able to come back from this. I mean, right now they do have the lead.
Oh, Posey does get taken down. Lord Nag Nag in a good position to get the res up. Mogwau coming in to help. Oh, actually gets feared off. It looks like Mogwau going to try to get that last minute tick off on him. I believe that was a fear coming in from the Ranger pet there.
Zombify's back up. Zombify's back up in that fight.
Posey's back into the game here as well. He's getting pretty low. He's going to sit in that Death Shroud, pop out, going to get that Consume Conditions off. He's back into the game here. It looks like the Ring of Warding from Da Vinci. It looks like, he keeps running right into it. Da Vinci going to try to, the rally comes out. It looks like from Cade's death, unfortunately. Very close, though. They almost had the stop there on Posey.
And what I'm seeing right now is I think that Sync has called for 2 points. The middle point and their far point. That's what they're fighting for. Again, they have left their home point for the last few seconds. They're not even going for it. They're not even trying to deal with it. They're just going to go middle and far for those 2 points.
Finishing on Windmill. He does get the decap there. Again, only 1 point currently capped. That's going to be in Car Crash's favor. Points very close right now, though.
It's a very, very close game.
We're back over here to the midpoint.
Trebuchets have started to fly.
We do see Zombify down. Looks like Lady Nag Nag coming in with the stomp on that. They're going to be putting them at a 4v5 disadvantage, at least for the 15 seconds or so.
Trebuchets are coming into middle.
Did you see that?
Again, a triple decap going out right now. The point's very close. Oh, actually, we do see a cap coming out. I do believe the UI is not showing it accurately, though. Where is it capped? We do have the capping Mansion back.
They're going to be able to take middle.
That was middle. There we go. Looks like Torp trying to get back on the point here. He's going to try. He should probably just try to disengage though. I don't know why he's staying in this fight. He doesn't have any health and he's not quite able to escape.
So this is going to mean that basically this is starting to be the tournament right here. If Sync doesn't collect themselves right here and start to push back, they will be going home. They need to be really careful right now. They've really got to start honoring the back cap again. It's coming in again. Look at this. Super's going right after their point again. Home point is going to be neutralized.
Well, we're doing a pretty good job of the 1v2 over here on Wimbo. We did get the backup coming in from Posey. We're seeing multiple players from Sync coming in, trying to get them off the point here. Again, only one cap point currently for Car Crash, no cap points for Sync. Still keeping the score very close right now. Posey getting very low over on the side point. He looks like he's going to be dropping down right now. DaVinci in a good position to get the stomp off. Here it comes. He's able to get the stomp off on Posey. He goes down. Hopefully putting Sync back into a good position to take this game back.
It's 2 points to 0 right now, though. They've got to be careful. Their back point, their home, they've got to get to home point and honor that. Car Crash is starting to pull ahead ever so slightly. They're starting to pull ahead. Neither team is using the trebuchet right now, though. Both teams have said, you know what, everybody, boots on the ground. We want 5 on 5. We don't want to deal with the treb right now.
Capture point.
Replenishing.
The Guardians are having a duel in the middle. It's looking really good. They're going to have a 2-on-1 here. Let's see if Lord Nene can hold this 2-on-1. He's getting some help from Posey now.
Let's take a look back over here at Mansion. Looks like we do have Super down. We have Short coming out with the stomp there. They do have, looks like, Lady here as well. She's actually going to opt to stay on point, just try to keep it in their favor as long as possible. Again, Car Crash has 2 points, Sync only has 1, and Car Crash is slowly crawling away.
It's still really close, though. It's still very, very close. 40 points is not that much. A couple of kills and a couple of ticks if you have a 2-on-1.
There's that patent knockback and mobilize coming out from DaVinci onto Lord Nagnag, putting him all the way into the pocket.
In the pocket, okay. So he's a pull ball now? I like that.
Kate getting taken down over here on side point. Looks like a little bit of cleave damage coming out from Car Crash. Able to get the res off with the Spirit of Nature, it looks like. Kate back into the fight here. Shadow Rift is getting thrown down from Lady Nagnag. Gonna come in, put in the bursties! Oh my goodness, Lady Nagnag goes down. Shadow Rift comes down again. Kate getting pretty low here, it looks like.
The AoEs are adding up. Those AoEs are adding up.
Kate's going to be down in. Shadow Rift coming in with Torp coming in with the res. Looks like he's able to get it off in time. We do have Posey down in the midpoint with Lord Nagnag.
Fear. Nice fear from Posey to keep that stomp from happening.
I missed it over here at the midpoint. We do have, looks like Sync's going to be capping mid.
They're starting to claw their way back. Oh, look at this. So DaVinci pushing far.
No, they need to get on this point, though. Looks like Zombie's going to get on point just in time to keep the Mansion, rather, from capping. Oh, not quite in time, actually. Looks like they jumped out for a split second there. And, yeah, so Car Crash is going to be capping Mansion back. We do have Wimbo getting capped by DaVinci right now. He's probably going to be able to keep Posey off, it looks like. Maybe if he can land a nice immobilize.
Nice.
There we go. Keeping him off point. He's going to be able to get the cap there. Not quite. Oh, the banish into the fence. Oh, so close. So DaVinci's going to be keeping Posey on point here. The knockback going off. He was actually in the Ring of Warning, so he wasn't going to fly out of the point. DaVinci using almost all of his cooldowns to try to get Posey off point, but Posey's still on.
Everything's neutral. The whole map is neutral right now. Everything is neutral.
Car Crash currently up about 100 points. What does Sync need to do?
The first thing is they've got to get home point. We've talked about this before. They've got to honor that far push. They've got to get home point. They've got to get mid. Get it to 2-on-1 as soon as you can.
Kate currently fighting a 1v1 versus Mogwao, looks like. Kate putting a good amount of damage onto him. Here we do have Lady Naga coming in to support Mogwao.
Wins a capture point.
Oh. Car Crash, they've got middle. They've got middle. And they have Sync's home point. They are still pushing that home point really, really well.
Kate did go down inside the Shadow Refuge here, so they can't see him. Zombie coming in with the res. He's
they're
cleave
both
damage.
Down. It was the AoE damage.
That's something we talked about, though. That's when you go. It's the gamble. You go in for the res, you get punished.
You've got to be. You have to know when to pull off of that, and sometimes it's really hard to know when you need to pull out and just let that person die. 70 points. 70 points is all that separates Car Crash from being the champions right now. That is it.
DaVinci still fighting Posey in a 1v1 over here, having a hard time getting the full cap here. He's very, very close to getting it. Actually, pardon me, he does have it in his favor. I take that back. So they do have it in his favor, but he's still fighting on point. Necromancer is one of the scariest things for Guardian. And as you can see right now, he's getting feared off point. Matacon is just stacking up. He's got no cooldowns left over. Lady Nightneck coming in, finishing off the fight. Posey coming with the stomp. DaVinci able to interrupt the first one, but he's down off a point. And that's going to be it.
There's a cow on the field.
That was the cow on the field.
There's a cow on the field.
Twerp coming into the side point here. He's getting just absolutely demolished by Car Crash here. He's going to go down on point. I don't think he got the... nope, nothing coming in for him. Zamfai coming on the point with Plague. Just going to try to... They're just funneling in.
40 points. But the thing is right now they got to start putting pressure because they're so far behind. There's only 40 points, 30 points. They've got to start pushing those things. Unfortunately, they just don't have time to collect.
I kind of feel like Sync's all over the map right now.
They are, but they're not winning anywhere on the map. They're everywhere, but they're not winning anywhere, which is what's bad right now.
Zamfai getting cut out. It looks like the amount of Gandhis on him is devastating. He's going to go down. Looks like Lord Nightnet coming with the stomp. That's going to be 3 players from Car Crash here. Zamfai goes down. That's going to be 45 advantage here for Car Crash going in. They do have 1 point capped currently, but there's only about 50 points to go.
They have to neutralize Mansion. They have to get it neutralized right now. Twerp, Zamfai, they are all over Super right now.
Katie gets him down. Going to go for this. Oh.
They got it down.
Oh.
Okay.
Are we going to...
They've got to get it down.
They're going to get a decap.
They're going to get a decap. Okay.
All right.
492. 8 points. They've got 8 points to work with. They've got to keep everything neutralized. If they give up a kill, that's 5 points. It's so
Vendetta
close.
getting very low at the
Guys,
midpoint here, it
so
looks
close.
like. Vendetta is down. The Shadow Reach coming out from Cade, going to save his life here. Going in for the res. Vendetta's back up in the fight here. Magua getting really low. Oh, they're going to take Magua down. They're going to get him down. They actually get him down here, it looks like. This would be phenomenal. Words do not describe.
Windmill, though. Windmill. They need help to Windmill. Or Car Crash is going to have this. They've got to get to Windmill.
Well, Da Vinci gets down point for a good amount of time. We do have Zamfai coming in to back him up here as well.
They know what they've got to do. They're doing it. They know what they've got to do at this point.
Look how close it is to capping right now. The condition's going on to Posey right now.
They might be able to hold here. 80 points. They need 80 points.
Posey goes down. Lord Nightnet coming with the res. Able to get the res. That Posey's back into the game. Oh, my goodness. Car Crash only 8 points away from victory.
The rest of
Zamfai
the
getting
map,
low. Zamfai is going down.
happening.
Cade coming with the res. Cade getting caught out. Cade's going to go down. Looks like Da Vinci's down.
Oh
The stop off on the
goodness.
Zombify.
Sync has the middle of the map. They have
That's it.
Kills.
Game over.
Kills.
Car Crash going 3-0 against Sync.
Kills.
Some epic
Great
games.
matches. Wow. Wow.
The room really filled up.
The room, there's people standing in the back,
I see
yes.
that.
Wow. They almost were able to come back there, but Car Crash, they said, no, we just need a couple kills.
It was very close to that side point there. 2 stops. They didn't even need the point. They just went for the kills, and they were able to land it. 60 points.
That was close. So I think that means we've wrapped up in 3 games, which means we're going to start talking about some medals and a little bit
of
awards. A little bit of awards.
Well, again, CC did take the win, so they are winning the majority of the $10,000 prize pool.
Yeah, that is how that works.
That's pretty sweet. Medals are nice.
Is what you might think. Yes, that is what's
Medals are nice, but money is better.
Money, because money can buy medals.
True.
Right?
I could buy a whole stack of
you
medals
could buy
with that money.
a whole slew of medals if you have the right money, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so I think that's pretty much what we've got right now. We're going to cut to the award ceremony, so we're going to have, again, John Corpening and I think Ali Murdoch taking it away.
No, I don't know if they have microphones, do they?
They do
Are we still
not.
talking?
I'm going to keep talking.
All right.
I just
so
want to
we can look at the camera here. So next one coming in here for Zombify.
Zombify.
Mr. Biceps.
Those biceps. Yay.
Big cheer for Mr. Biceps.
Big biceps.
This is Vendetta.
GG's.
Da Vinci.
The man, the myth. The quiet man.
Having a hard time with the hat there. We've got it figured out, though. Don't worry, guys.
Pro tip. If you want to get a medal, take off your hat first.
Maybe glasses, too. There's Twerp, guys.
All right. So there you go, guys. Your second place team. Second place team. There you go, guys. Team Sync representing USA. And now moving on. The Europeans. Car Crash representing the European Union.
That was super. We missed him. That was super. Super, there we go. That's Lord Nag Nag. There's Lady Nag Nag. What a surprise there. Mogwao. And Posey. We can get super over here so we can get a little interview going, I guess, right? Is it coming over here?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get to talk to Super. I think we have time for that. We're gonna get to talk to him. So let's back it on up so we can jump in here.
Rolling back.
Wow, just some good sportsmanship displayed here. Both of the teams, they've become friends, I think, over the weekend. They were friends before, but these guys they've been really cool to watch. There's just no animosity. They just wanted to have the greatest games they could have. Yay, car crash!
It's amazing what sharing a beer will do.
What's that?
It's amazing what sharing a beer will do. Share a couple beers, you
beer
can be friends
makes
with anyone.
everybody happy.
Exactly.
It's just the way that it works. So super, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
How did you guys, so going in, you were obviously confident. After that first win, what were you guys talking about? What was going through your mind?
We've already made the strategy before we come here, so we just wanted to follow this strategy. And we practiced a lot for this, like especially against their setup. We knew they were going in 2 ranges, so we practiced. Like I started playing warrior, solo queue, like a lot of.
Right.
And yeah, we just had like changed some setup and played ranger and warrior instead of alien engineer.
Okay.
Just for this match especially, because like really good against spirit rangers.
Yeah. So you felt like the warrior was actually there to just counter the spirit range.
Yeah.
The petting zoo. That's nice. I like it. That's what you brought up earlier, Raj.
Yeah, what is specifically about the warrior that makes it so strong?
It's the longbow especially, like the fun skill.
Yes.
You can get a lot of might stack from it, and it's like a really big circle, so there's a lot of damage. It kills spirits in like 2 seconds.
So it's all the burning from the F1 is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Okay, cool. So after game 1, you guys you're on a roll. Game 2 comes up, you guys win that as well. What are you thinking going into the 3rd game? What are you guys thinking when you get into Kylo?
We're just thinking that AL obviously like lost after winning 2-0, so we shouldn't be doing that same mistake that they did, and like we wasn't overconfident. Like we just wanted to play the game we prepared for.
Sure.
Was a lot closer though.
Yeah.
It was a really close game.
What happened? You guys were pretty strong in the first 2 games there, and the 3rd one they started to creep up there, and you guys got the lucky stomps at the end.
Yeah.
What were they doing that was throwing you guys off guard?
I think it was like the mistakes from our part. Like,
Okay.
We did some like miscommunication and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Was
Well,
basically miscommunication.
Basically
between the team.
miscommunication. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, so I guess one more time, just again, your champions are CC, if we can hear a little noise for them.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations to both teams.
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to VOTF, my World v World Guild.
Okay, there you go. A lot of people don't know, but a lot of the PvP players, you guys play PvE and World v World as well. You guys play all aspects of the game.
We like focused on World v World, and we've been doing a lot of GVG lately.
Okay.
So it's pretty fun, like just getting World v World.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're going to say congrats, and then we're going to start talking about wrapping this thing up, Crouch.
Okay.
All right. The party is next, right?
I've been
Alcohol
told
will
that
be
there will be alcohol and money, which you can use.
I don't have money.
You don't have money?
I'm not getting any money. That's for these guys.
Okay. So we just want to say thanks for coming out. We want to say thanks to all our partners. We want to say thank you to MMORPG. We want to say thank you to NVIDIA, Intel, SteelSeries, and everybody here that's been such an awesome audience. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. And thank you to you, Grouch. What would you like to say?
Nothing. This has been really fun. It's been a long road for everyone who's following the preliminaries. Thanks to Miss League specifically, I guess, for organizing all this stuff. And it's been an adventure.
It's been a good time. Well,
more stuff on the horizon. ESL is currently running all their tournaments right now.
There are some other tournaments coming up that we're really excited about. Are you guys looking forward to some of the future tournaments coming up? I mean, I'm sure that you guys have your eyes on that.
MLG is coming up soon.
Okay.
We've been contacted and invited for this tournament, so really excited to take part of that tournament.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much all we've got here today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to toss it over to Martin, and Martin's going to take it away for us.
Thanks, guys. Well, I have to say, if this whole game development thing doesn't work out for the two of you, you have a bright future in sports entertainment. So you were amazing. Like, give a big hand for our shoutcasters. Okay, so this kind of concludes our first anniversary bash, and what an event it has been, right? So we had a speech from Mo in the beginning. You've seen the new Tequatl encounter that will go live on September 17th. We announced the Looking for Group tool. We announced our World versus World seasons. Yes. We had like an amazing panel with a lot of like really passionate questions from all of you guys. So what is happening now, we will file everybody out. We have a party afterwards. The party starts at 8 o'clock. If you want to be at the party, we will stamp your hand on the way out. On level B, there's a waiting room where you can all wait while we prepare the room for the party. And for everybody else on the stream, thank you all for watching. My name is Martin, and you stay classy, Tyria.